To discuss more on this, we're joined by political analyst Alesta Wilcox. Alesta, good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us. Alesta, are Nigeria's opposition party failing in internal democracy? How is that affecting voter confidence ahead of 2027?
Thank you for having me. Although there's a bit of stoppage in your word, but if I understand what you say, the Nigerian political system is quite a shameful one. What I mean shameful is the fact that this is 26 years, 27 years of broken democracy, and we've not built up any political culture. Every year, every political cycle, we are having different rectories of alignment and realignment, and alignment and realignment, and decampment, and I mean, it's quite crazy and messy. Maybe because from origin, from 1999, we didn't establish a very proper political culture. Now, if you just look towards our neighbor, Ghana. Ghana has built up formidable political structure. There are two major parties, even there are other smaller parties, two major parties, and every cycle of election, these parties are growing stronger. The opposition is growing stronger. When the MPP is ruling, the NDC is growing stronger. When NDC is ruling, the MPP is growing stronger. But now, come back to Nigeria. The mere fact that PDP lost power in 2015, look at how PDP has gone into disarray. Many members left. Last election, it was they all moved into Labour Party. Everybody moved into Labour Party because there was a reigning candidate. This year, Labour Party was in tatters, and they've all now moved in. So, look, how do you trust these kind of individuals? I mean, we're talking about people that we think you should have something to offer nationally. And you see them as unstable as the English weather. So unstable that today they are carrying the broom, tomorrow they are holding the umbrella, next day they are holding the pen, another day they are... What kind of despicable character is this?
Okay, well, Wilcox, Alesta, is there a risk of Nigeria drifting towards de facto one-party system if current trends continue like this?
Nobody has legislated out anybody moving to one-party state. There is no legislation to that effect. I mean, if we didn't go into one-party state, when in 2003 and 2007, the then PDP government under President Obasanjo muzzled up most of the opposition, especially in the southwest, and our current president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, managed to rebuild the opposition from scratch. If that didn't happen, then there is no written rule that it will happen. It's just that the actors. I just told you about our next door neighbor, and Ghana, who has been the individual. It's not the individuals. It's not the system. It's individuals, players within the system that are supposed to cherish democracy, nurture democracy, and remain stable. Stability in a political party is the key. Not today, when you lose face in one party, then you are the one creating the environment for a one-party state. So be it so. Now, when in 2003, everybody was decamping to the PDP then, maybe Nigerians have forgotten. Nobody saw it as moving to one-party state. Okay, now the table has turned, has flipped, and everybody, for their own selfish end, are moving to the APC in droves. Nobody invited them. They just find that it is convenient for their own selfish political ends, and they are almost. So who do you blame? Political parties are meant to grab as much members as possible as to be able to win elections. So if everybody chose to leave their platform out of their own making, those in opposition could not sit down, do a formidable opposition, and challenge power, just as the opposition did in 2015. We know what happened in 2015. When the opposition came together, brought a common front, started from the scratch, registered a new party, started from the scratch, and then they were able to become president from that was able to challenge power. What do you have now? Opportunistic opposition.
So at this point, Wilcox, would you say that coalition politics is a realistic pathway for opposition survival?
In a country like Nigeria, for you to win a presidential election, there must be a proper handshake between regions, across regions. If you are popular in one side and you are not popular in the other, and you don't have strength in the other side, then you can't win a presidential election. So coalition, just as current President Bola Ahmed Tinubu realized in 2011, yes, after the election of 2011, that there's no way they can go it alone. So there must be a handshake. So they went into proper coalition. Now, at this point, for you to unseat any incumbent in Nigeria that has all the structure, all the financial muscle, all the goodwill and badwill, for you to do that, you need a proper grassroots-based opposition, not jumpology, not jumping from already existing. Look at what the so-called opposition is doing now with the ADC experiment. Now they've gone to they've hit a brick wall, and they're blaming the president or APC or INEC for their miscalculation and political will. So until these persons, until Nigerians, especially the so-called political leaders, now behave like President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who built from the ground, who is strategic and was able to understand how to build a coalition. This one, they're not building a coalition, they're just opportunistic. They're just being opportunistic to write on the sentiment of the people, to write on this, and thinking that they're the solution. I don't have a problem with their past. But even if you have a dirty past, an ugly past as being part of the problem, you can still chart a good future by showing character, by showing the Nigerian people that, look, you have character, you have the skill, you have the temerity, you have the political brain to organize and to be able to get a formidable position. This one, you are not showing it. There is nothing to show. It's just a matter of hijack, jump from here to there. If it's no longer comfortable, you move from here to there. I have criticized this political alignment of people. Let us build a policy based on ideology. Nigeria has no single ideology. It's just confidence, point of confidence, where your bread is well buttered. Confidence, and which is a terrible thing in terms of human character. Our character as Nigerians is faulty. It's not comparable to what happens in the civilized world. And I keep using Ghana as an example. In Ghana, they have built their political structure, the opposition is strong, the ruling parties are strong, and they are all giving themselves a run for their money. People don't decamp. You don't see people decamping every day from one part. Now, NDC is ruling Ghana. You will never see anybody from NPP decamp. If he's moving out, he moves out to become an independent. Even when NPP will be ruling, you don't see NDC gets stronger. They recruit more members. They're able to present a good. That is how I expect Nigerian politics have been. Not this Agbada carrying, Agbada carrying people and
all right then.
And all over the place. I mean, for me, we are not yet ready for a proper political culture in Nigeria. 26 years after, it's shameful and it's sad for me that we are where we are.
All right then. Alesta Wilcox, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you.